Hey everyone, Josh here. Today we're going to be looking at common burr shapes in some of the most popular grinders on the market. First up in our burr comparison is a block burr. These are really common on burr grinders, often sold in department stores. They're generally under $100, and it's pretty easy to see why when you look at the grinding mechanism. They tend to have smaller motors that are cheaper to produce, and because of that, they need a little bit of a helping hand. So as you can see here, it has these large sort of angled burr shapes, and these help to sort of crack the beans into smaller pieces that then have an easier time working their way out through the burrs. One of the side effects of this, however, is that they do tend to get a lot of fines, creating a little bit of mud in the cup and doesn't help with clarity of flavor. You'll most notice this in dedicated pour-over setups. Someone using a Chemex with a little bit of a finer grind will find a lot of fines in their filter using a block burr like this. Next up on our list is a more traditional flat burr. As I'm sure many of you are familiar with, this is from a Ranchillo Rocky, and you can see that it's a nearly entirely different design from the block burr previously. So if you see here, it's less flat and it's got a little bit of an angle, and that's to accommodate the beans sizes as they get ground down to your chosen consistency. The inside of the burr is more planar for bigger chunks, and as you work your way to the outside of the burr, it gets finer and finer again until you're finally at your set grind consistency. Fun fact, flat burrs use a process that harnesses extrusion pressure to push the grounds out of the grinder. And what that is as the beans feed down into the burrs, they push up and out and into your delivery system, whether it's a chute or a doser. Because of that, flat burrs do tend to have a little bit more retention than conical burrs do, and is also the reason that we recommend you always have your grinder running when you adjust grind settings, and that's entirely due to this extrusion pressure technique of flat burrs. As the beans cycle through, there will always be partially ground beans in the teeth of the burr, so if you adjust it finer, you can compact the burrs and stop the motor from being able to spin up, which will cause a jam. The easiest way to remedy this is to simply have your grinder running while you adjust finer, which helps to push the partially ground beans up and out of the teeth of the burr without causing an impaction. Next up in our grinder comparisons is conical burrs. These two are off of really popular grinders. The first is from a Baratza Encore, and the second is from a Baratza Seti. The reason we pulled both of these instead of just one plate is because flat burrs tend to be mirrored, so the bottom grinder plate and the top grinder plate are the same, whereas on conical burrs, one is an insert burr and the other one is an outer burr. They tend to mesh together like this, and as you can see, there's more space in the grinder cavity above for the beans to fall down into, and then as the particles get smaller, the space in between the burrs gets smaller as well. This helps with consistency and also helps to lower the amount of retention that you get in your burrs. We often get the question, which type of burr is better? And many people are very passionate on the subject. We don't really see much of a difference in espresso quality grinders between conical and flat burrs. Both will perform beautifully for your brew methods. Any high quality grinder is going to be a great fit for your machine, and I honestly wouldn't worry too much about it. So that's it for our quick rundown on burr shapes. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment below, and I will see you all next time.